Heidi ho, my favorite people in YouTube land. It seems like a very long time since I've seen y'all. I have not been AWOL, I promise. I've been very busy working on a lot of projects. One of them being my very first start to finish knife, non-heat treat. And so I've been doing video clips of everything I've been working on, which includes the Revenant Haversack kit and a sheath and mods to the new Trail Boss axe that I got, and plus the heat down here has been redonkulous. It has been very limited time outside because it's just so oppressive here and hot. But today's video, I have to give a big thanks to my good buddy Flint and Steel. He is the one that kind of brought this video to you today. I was watching his video this morning about his $20 craft store survival challenge, and in that video he showed the components he got to make fire, which would be from a bow drill. I'm not going to tell you too much about his video in case you haven't seen it yet, but as soon as I watched that and he got past that part, it was like an anvil slammed me right in the head. I'm like, oh my god, I started this project months ago and just left it on the back burner. I got so busy with other stuff, and I think it was way back by like Thanksgiving and Christmas, and that time was just crazy for us, and so I basically forgot about it. So I went into the Gear Dome and I grabbed up all the stuff I had, and I was like, I gotta finish this. I gotta finish this, and I have to get it on YouTube and see what happens with it. So months back, I was watching a lot of videos on friction fires. I've messed around with bow drill, never had success. I still continue to practice it and use various woods, and I just not have done a video on it. So then I started watching more videos about the hand drill. And the hand drill to me is not simple to do, but it has two components. It has the spindle and it has the fireboard, and then these. So it makes it a little bit tougher, in my opinion, than the bow drill, because you have all of the components to the bow drill that does all the mechanical work, and it just needs the fuel from you and a good technique to get the coal. So I've seen a lot of videos on the hand drill where people just got tore up from it, to the point of their hands covered in blisters to actual open wounds and blood, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want no part of that. That just looks too bad, you know? So I came across a couple videos that kind of showed a cheat method to the hand drill. So I was like, So I kept that in mind, and when I went to the craft store one day, Mandy and I had gone to Hobby Lobby because she was doing a lot of crafts for Christmas and stuff, and was making a lot of wooden crafts and gifts and stuff like that. So I was in the section with her, and I'm like, wow, this is going to work, I think. So I grabbed some materials and I went home, and I'm like, I don't want to copy somebody else's method, although it's done all the time. I wanted to put a snow fog twist to it. So I got it all made up, and that was it until today. So let me switch the camera around for you, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Stay with me. Okay, welcome back. The videos I saw with the, I guess you could say, head start on the hand drill, or the cheat way to do the hand drill, they were all done with natural spindle and a fireboard. It was nothing like, from the store. But I wanted to put a different spin on it and get everything from the craft store to see if it could be done. So what I came up with was this dowel. Now I believe it's, it was so long ago that I got it. I think it's a 1/4 inch dowel. And on here is a wooden spindle, or like thread comes on. Okay, so there is something different that I did though. I wanted to be able to practice with woods in my area, so what I did is I stuck in a natural piece of wood. Now, I did this so long ago, I have no idea what this wood is. But basically, you know, you you cut it down and you just stick it in the end of the spindle. So you can practice with different types of wood. And then just attach your dowel, excuse me, into the other end. If I'd be in frame, it'd be nice. Into the other end. So I'm looking at the deer back there. So that's how that goes. And originally, I picked up this wooden chess piece because it had a hole in it. And my thought was to put it on the end with the paracord. Now I'll show you how this all works in a minute, but when I started to do it, it was pretty wobbly. So I still have to work on this piece a little bit, but I found a much better way to do it. And as far as my fireboard, I got this at the craft store as well. It's just a piece of press board, actually. Then I was thinking, well, is that going to work? But yeah, because you know what? There's a lot of fibers in this. That's a horrible notch. I know that was like the worst notch I've ever made. And it should take the heat really well. My first mistake was putting my divot way back here instead of up here like it should have been, because I had to make a really big notch and it just came out horrible. But anyway, it's just a plain old piece of press board. I think like 50 cents at Hobby Lobby. The leather is also from Hobby Lobby. This is a welcome mat for the coal or receiving mat for the coal, however you want to put it. And then the paracord, which is $4.25, is also from Hobby Lobby. Now I'm going to back the camera up and get it aimed in the right direction so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So bear with me a minute. Okay, here's a better look. Dowel, little wooden piece, thread spindle I call them, and then the natural wood that slips right in. Press board, fireboard that I made a horrible notch in, and then the leather receiving mat. So what you do is you make a little notch with your saw in the top of this dowel. Now I'm sure that if you wanted to, you could probably just use the dowel. I haven't tried that yet, but we'll leave that for Flint because that's how he's going to do his. So what you do is you get yourself either thin paracord or bank line. I mean, you could probably even use ribbon from the hobby store, but I was able to find this $4.25 paracord. You simply stick that paracord or whatever you're using in that notch. Put this into your divot. Bear down with your thumbs. Here, let me move you up a little bit. Come on, tripod. There we go. Because with a hand drill, you have to put pressure as you're going down the spindle. But what this does is it keeps a constant pressure. You're able to control the spindle a lot better and keep an even pressure on without messing up your hands too much. So I'm going to move you down a little bit and you'll see what I'm talking about. Trying to get you all in frame here so you can see. Maybe if I move you back just a tad bit. And this is how it works. You're able to maintain that constant pressure basically without your hands slipping off. But as I was burning in that first hole, I was like, man, this thin paracord, you can see, is cutting into my thumbs. Which, you know, no big deal if you really need a fire. But then I noticed I started, I don't know if you can see it, to get a blister right here. So I'm like, there's got to be an easier way without, I mean, the whole purpose of this is to go gentle on the hands and not tear them up, right? So then I came up with this. Little leather thumb holes. Put our paracord back in. Put this in our knot, or in our divot. And now your thumbs are protected from the cord. And it also gives you a little bit better of a grip. Now, excuse me, I don't think that there's really any difference where your hands go on here. I may have to shorten this cord. But let's burn in this hole and see what we get. Yep. I don't know if you can see the smoke, but that burned in pretty well. I do think, because I'm way down here on it, that I need to shorten these and bring it up middle. But you can see it burned in nicely. So let me shorten up these cords a little bit and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so I've got them shortened up. I just created another knot and cut off the old one so there's no excess paracord to get in the way of the spinning process. So let's see if we can get a coal going. I hope so. The wind's picking up, of course. Why wouldn't it? I'm doing a video. Hope this notch is okay. So here we go. Getting there. I have to adjust this. Okay, so my luck today sucks. Two things happened. One, it started raining, so I moved into my little work area here under my carport. Second of all, I think this lousy notch and this seat being so far back wasn't working. It wasn't allowing the spindle to move freely in there. So the other place I burned, I put a notch, and we're going to see if that works. If it does not work, well, it can't be me. I'm assuming it's this press board. It is not the easiest stuff to cut and work with. Yeah, so let's see. And drop it. If this is any better. Shall we? Let me get clamped down here. And I had to put tape on my thumbs, my blister. And I also had another one on the other thumb. Weren't having any part of this, so. Alright. I hope you guys can see. Alright, let's try this again. I'd have to say it's the particle board, because once you spin down, the spindle seems to get jammed. Yeah, it is the particle board. But I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm going to get a real piece of wood, and we're going to do it again. Okay, so I found a piece of white pine, and to be quite honest with you, my hands are tore up. I have this blister. I'm forming blisters all along here and all along here, not to mention starting one here. So, I am not going to put my hands through hell and leave them raw for the sake of a video. I'm just not going to do it. I'm sorry. I know you are all waiting to see it be done, and I wanted to do it too, but I do a lot with my hands, and I'm not going to do it. They hurt. This one is bleeding and swollen now. It's just not worth it. But I am also one to not give up on anything and try to see the task through to the end at whatever costs. So let's see if I can get this done without any more abuse to my hands. Hang on and let me set it up. Mingya. Kidding me? Burning up that spindle like mad. Lots of wind. Unbelievable. wind would stop. Ah, see what I mean? I don't know what the deal is here. No coal. Now look at all that. I'm going to give it one more try. The wind is really starting to pick up here, but this is nuts. I'm getting down to a nub. Well, I've tried it. Well, I've tried everything I know. Oh, I hate to give up. All right. I'm a failure. All that and out of coal. Well, I'm not gonna quit. I can't even make a damn ember with a freaking power drill. Well, it just goes to show you we don't always succeed at what we attempt. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.